Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited you're with us on 33 Founders today because I'm here with Jennifer Barker, the co-founder and CEO of Diems Against Poverty. Thank you so much for being with me, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jenna. We appreciate your time and for the attention you're going to draw to our cause. So thank you.
I'm really excited to have you dive into how Diems came to life, and if you can share Brittany Kodak, co-founder of Zine Pioneers' mission to really make a difference with this.
Yes. Essentially, when we sat down to talk about it, our mission that we work toward every day is to reallocate donated per diems from high net worth individuals such as business professionals, professional athletes, and celebrities, and to use those donated per diems to provide food for Americans suffering with food insecurity. And so our ultimate vision, is a day when no American goes hungry, because there's 49 million Americans across the country who are food insecure. So the ultimate goal is to fix that problem. So
this came out of Brittany's experience pitching the Sharks in Shark Tank. She was given a per diem and thought to herself, wow, how long could I feed myself on this? And then it kind of hit her, how long could someone who's insecure feed themselves on this? Can you explain how, so you have a great example on your blog with the per diem for an MLB player each day on the road is $100. And
yes,
that could provide 3 meals a day for 12 people. Can you explain those statistics?
Yes, I can. Due to our partnership with Feeding America, we 100% of all donations we receive go to Feeding America. We don't take anything from that. All donations to our website and all per diems that are pledged to us go to our cause. So the way it works, because of Feeding America's vast resources and their 200 food banks across America and 60,000 food pantries, $1 equals 10 meals for Americans. So when you multiply that, you're thinking with Major League Baseball, all the players on that team, that's just can be one team, and you multiply that by the number of teams, you're talking millions of meals for Americans. So, and that's just one league, So when you think about that with across sports, professional sports in particular, the difference and the potential there is just unimaginable. And so ultimately our goal would be to get every league involved, every player, and that would, if that were the case, that would almost completely end hunger in America effectively, if we could get everyone involved. So that's the vision. But yeah, due to Feeding America's vast resources, that's how we come up with the math of that, because Feeding America has contracts with local grocers and things like that, and the food that would otherwise be thrown away is donated to their food banks for distribution. So that's how they're able to make $1 equal 10 meals.
And the way you guys do it for the athletes, for the entertainers, anyone who wants to donate that per diem is super easy, right?
Yes, we are able to, because there are so many different ways that it's done, and the logistics vary according to team and league, just depending. So we're able to tailor that process to where it's very simple for each player, each league, and basically the players on their end, they would just pledge the per diem, and we would take care of everything from there. So we would work with whether it's payroll or that department within that particular team or franchise, then we would work with them so that initially when they come in or are drafted, they would pledge their per diems or be presented with that opportunity, and they did that, then they never have to think about it again, aside, at least not from a money management standpoint, or have to go out of their way. But yeah, our goal is to make it as easy as possible for them to pledge them to do a good thing ultimately, and get them involved. So
you guys launched officially in May 2015. What's been the most exciting part of the last few months?
I would say for me, it would be, I guess, two different things. Getting our 501c3 was probably one of the most exciting things, because it can be very difficult. I read, it can take 6 months or even up to a year sometimes to receive your 501c3 status, and so, or it can be completely denied. So there are different options. It can be approved, denied, or you can be passed off and ask for more information, which can prolong the process for months. So we were so fortunate to receive it so quickly within 2 months of sending off our application. And so that was, unbelievable to us. And we felt like the timing was perfect with coinciding with our website launch, which was and the other most exciting thing, I think, was finally being able to tell the world about what we're doing, because we've been keeping this secret to ourselves and feel like, we were just really excited about it and about the potential good that could be done and all the people that could benefit from these donated per diems. So we were just really excited to officially be able to tell everyone what we're doing and start getting, the news out to players and other individuals who want to be involved. So
What's the reception been like so far?
it's been overwhelmingly positive. There's a lot of people who are very interested that we're talking with right now, players in particular, but then also other industries that we're working with, as far as actors and other celebrities. But it's been very, very positive. And one of our greatest supporters has actually been Feeding America. They were on board from the beginning when we were just, the very first couple of weeks we were starting this. We had just incorporated. We got on a phone call with their partnerships division, and they welcomed us with open arms. They were just as excited as we were about the potential of this, because per diems is a previously untapped resource of funds for used for Feeding Americans. So they thought it was a wonderful idea and couldn't wait to get started. They were so excited that normally they require a $150,000 promise or contract with their partners in order to become partners of Feeding America. But for us, they generously waived that. So just because they saw the potential there. So that was exciting. And then along with everyone else, especially when it comes to professional sports, everyone's been very receptive.
Do you have like a dream team that you'd love to work with? Maybe your favorite team?
Me personally? Yes, I am a Detroit Tigers baseball fan, which might be surprising since I live in Arkansas. But my husband actually, yeah, my husband is from Michigan, and so he kind of recruited me being a Detroit Tigers fan, and we go every summer to a game when they play the Rangers, and we really follow them closely and almost watch every single one of their games. So I would love to be able to work with the Tigers because I'm a fan, and but then also the Oklahoma City Thunder, because I was born and raised in Oklahoma. So I would say the Thunder for NBA would be nice.
We'll have to send this to them then.
Yes, exactly.
One of the things I've loved about Per Diems Against Poverty so far is that you guys have a huge mission to use the per diems and allocate them to Feeding America. But what I've really admired is your commitment to just talking about hunger in general, sharing some statistics. For example, there's $165 billion of food wasted every year.
Yes.
Why is that education component so important to you guys?
Well, it's important to us because I think this is something that people don't talk about enough. And what's most important about the food waste article that was written is that in America, food insecurity doesn't exist because we have a lack of food. Food insecurity exists for several reasons, but one of which is, the food that is wasted in this country. Over 40% of food that is edible is thrown out each year just because produce isn't the right shape or size, and doesn't even make it to market. And, that's just unfathomable to us. And so I think it's really important to educate people, because they can also if they can't afford to, give monetarily, then they can, make decisions about changing their lifestyle. I know after researching that, I thought about my own practices, and I thought, let's evaluate what we're doing in our household. I have 2 children, and food's a big budget item for them, and so I thought, how much food am I wasting if we buy things that we don't need right now, and then it goes to waste? So making more frequent trips to the grocery store to get things just that we need rather than stocking up on things that are just going to expire or go bad, and then you throw them out, and that's just a waste. And that food could be donated or, otherwise, be used for good. So I think that people just don't really realize that they have options, to cut back on their own food waste. And then also, if they do have food that's going to expire and they don't want it or don't need it, they can also donate it to their local food pantries or food banks. So that's just something that people don't really think about a lot of times. But if they did and were exposed to these different options, then I think a lot of people would be willing to do that. So.
Something that you shared that I really enjoyed reading the blog was something that really stood out to me was that hunger is only the beginning of the negative effects of food insecurity. Mm-hmm. For example, one of the things that you pointed out, which I'm sure really hits home when you have kids, is how much it impacts children when they grow up in a food insecure home, that it could literally change their brain.
Yes, that was one thing that was really shocking to me as well, the health implications, especially on children. And I've seen this firsthand. My mother was a caseworker, actually, for DCFS, and then now she also teaches preschool. And through these supplemental nutrition programs and things that the schools have, and some of the children, the meals that they receive at school are the only meals they have during the day, which is astonishing. They don't have breakfast unless they eat breakfast at school, and then they'll eat lunch and they probably won't have dinner, and that's just heartbreaking. And I'm just, to think that that's happening here in America with, our vast resources is very sad and unbelievable. And these children, they have so much potential for growth, not only physically but intellectually, and to think that this could have, ramifications for years to come. Not only just that they're hungry right now, but it actually could change their genetic makeup. Is, just adds to our drive, I guess, to want to make a change in this country. So
I'm thrilled that you guys are doing that, and I hope that you continue to update the blog, because I think it's great. You can also donate to Per Diems Against Poverty. It doesn't have to be a per diem, it can be a one-time donation, but I think it's really important that you guys have taken the time to say, hey, there's so many things that you can do. Something as small as saying, you know what, there's food from yesterday, let's make it into something today.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, and one of the blogs I guess I had written last week was about the community gardens. Mm-hmm. And even though that seems like something that's not applicable necessarily to what we're doing, it's not just about raising money, but it's also about raising awareness. Mm-hmm. And how, people that are suffering from food insecurity, not only just depending on food banks and monetary, resources, but then also, helping with a community garden that could offer healthy alternatives, for people, and they could actually even earn extra income by helping work the community gardens and then selling the produce and, providing healthy, nutritious food for their families. So it's just about expanding people's minds and letting them know, like, there's just not one way to solve hunger. It's not just about, getting donations or just about, giving money to Feeding America, but it's about our country changing the practices overall. There's so many different things we can do to help this problem.
When it comes to the efforts that you guys are making, what's a big lesson you've learned since May that's made a huge impact on you?
I would say for me, like I was saying, about changing my own practices. Mm-hmm. I think, honestly, that's been something about, re-examining our own lifestyle and how, as people, we may even feel like we're conservative, but, I think everyone, can evaluate what they've been doing and make a change for the better. And whether it be, volunteering at a local food bank or a food drive, setting aside, time to raise awareness for people in need in your local community. So, it's easy to think about hunger as something that happens somewhere else, in another country or in another city, or it's only in urban areas, but that's not the case. The population here in Fort Smith is just over 80,000. And in the whole, region, it's greater than that. There's a few 100,000. However, 43,000 people are served from the food bank here in Fort Smith.
More than half?
No, not more. It's more in this
80,000?
region.
Yeah,
In this region, but it's over 20% of the region. So yeah, 43,000 people alone are served here in the River Valley from this one food bank. And so it's not, oh, those people over there are struggling with food insecurity. It's in every community across America. And so I think just drawing that awareness and being aware that there's something I can do here personally. I can visit my food bank. I can make an effort to change my own practices. So I think that's probably been the biggest thing for me personally. But then also just being able to work on something that I'm so passionate about and that I believe in, and I am 100% confident is going to, make a huge difference in so many people's lives. And so that's just rewarding in itself, I think. So
with that, for Brittany and you, what's the big vision for Diems Against Poverty? Where do you want to be in the next few years?
Ideally, in the next few years, we would like to scale it in the way, like right now we're focusing mainly on professional sports and that arena, but this eventually would also like to branch more into working with executives in the corporate world, major corporations having executives pledge their per diems, like, because even your average business associate or management, people in management receive per diems, and having the opportunity to work with different corporations who may even want to, if they have a member of their team that wants to pledge their per diems, we could set up a matching program for them as well. So we would like to be able to tailor this not only to athletes and celebrities, but also just to people in the corporate world, and be able to translate it there and just grow it that way, because the potential really is limitless. Because I myself know, when I worked in the corporate world for 5 years before I had my daughter, I received a per diem when I would go on, travel trips and things like that. And it was much more than I needed, and, I would get $50+ for my meals a day. And I was like, I don't need this just for my meals. And so even if a corporation would say, okay, you have this much to spend, if you don't spend that much, the remainder that you can spend up to your limit will whatever's left over, we'll donate that, for food. So there's so many options we would like to look into for corporations. Yeah, whether it be matching or just, be willing to donate the remainder of the per diems available for the employees.
So for production studios, for athletic organizations, for corporations, how can they get in touch with you? How can they get involved and really start playing an active role?
Okay, well, first steps would be we are available anytime, would be to email me or Brittany, but would be to visit our website, perdiems.org, here, and read a little bit about us, about our mission, about our vision, our core values, and make sure that we're a right fit for you. And, we are willing to answer questions and provide whatever information that they would like about, the process, and being able to tailor the whole process, making it as simple as possible for them to get involved. So we have many different options available to get corporations, players, celebrities involved. So it can be as easy as possible for them to give. So but the easiest step, would just be to, email me. So
Perfect. So before we go, I have to know who's featured on the 30 Days of Giving today.
Today we are actually featuring who we just spoke with actually on the phone earlier. His name is Jared Schoenfeld, and he's helping us make connections in the professional sports industry, talking with individual players that he knows and executives that he is very generously getting us in touch with, and they are being a major support for us and going to bat for us and have a lot of confidence in and the good that we're going to be able to do. So we're really excited about that. But so he's going to be featured today on the 30 Days of Giving, and they're located in Miami. So
Very cool. I think we're all very confident about the impact that per diems against poverty is going to make. So I'll hold you to the blogs to keep us educated on how everyone can make a difference. And what's the best way for everyone to stay up to date with you?
the best way to stay up to date with us is, I'm constantly posting on social media, giving updates daily on, they can follow us on Twitter at perdiemsorg, and they can also, like us on Facebook, and also have a company page on LinkedIn as well that we post updates on, any current information, fundraisers we're doing. We're actually working on doing a fundraising event for December. We're doing a charity run. So 5K, 10K. So, we'll be posting information about that, and so they can do that, or, follow our blog and read up on the latest news on hunger and feeding, and what we're doing to help feed Americans across the country.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being with me.
Oh, thank you, Jenna. I appreciate it.